Well, Friday night, From Rockford and the Liam Foundation hosted a community-free store at Rockford's Fairground Park. Miriam Niesmeyer speaks to families who say at a time when many struggle to make ends meet, support like this makes a difference.
Daniel, free food, clothing, and community support helps ease stress, and neighbors say puts food on the table. They say it also connects them with future resources.
Because everyone's struggling right now. It's rough.
That's the reality families shared Friday night at Fairgrounds Park.
I think it's our responsibility to take care and protect the needs of the most vulnerable.
From Rockford and the Liam Foundation hosted a community-free store, handing out groceries, clothing, hygiene products, and household items.
It feels really nice to just have people care about people in Rockford and care about everyone who's struggling right now.
Community organizer Ari Perez says Friday marks their second event. He says volunteers want families to feel like they're in a safe space.
People are in need, people are hungry right now, and the resources just aren't accessible, especially on this part of town.
Rockford resident Charisma Fox says the event brings relief after having a baby and worrying about how to make food stretch through the rest of the month.
It's helping so much because now we have chicken drumsticks. That can be like so many dinners. It can be so many lunches. I got tortillas. That's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Literally yesterday I was thinking what am I going to do for the rest of the month?
Perez says donations come from across Rockford.
We're trying to really unite and learn from each other. What do you need? What are your problems? And how can we help? We're accepting you as you are and trying to figure out how we as a community can be one and be better.
Perez says he plans to have more free community events throughout the summer. And if people are interested in donating or volunteer, they can reach out to From Rockford on Facebook or Instagram.
Perez says the organization also offers diaper assistance year-round through its Diaper Drive program.